Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Grassroots NASCAR Racing and my name is Scott. Today we're doing another review, but this is not going to be a BAT review. This one is a little different. I've been needing to do this one for a few weeks and I'm finally going to do it because this auction happens January 2nd through the 14th, and this is a Mecum auction. So I know a lot of you have heard about the Winston Cup Museum going out of business in North Carolina. It's very sad, very crappy situation. It's ridiculous that they're doing it, but it's happening. So they're having to sell off some of their cars and they decided to put them in Mecum. So today we're going to take a look at some of those cars and just see what's out there. I do have an issue with one of them in particular and we're going to go over that, but let's dive in and see what we're looking at. All right, so this is the auction here. I'm going to put a link to this in the video description so you guys can check it out. Kissimmee 2024, and I believe, yeah, January 2nd through the 14th. So it's going to start pretty soon. So, and I'm not sure, I haven't heard any of the details, but it says The Rise of NASCAR's Modern Era Museum Collection, presented by JKS Motorsports. So when I was going through a lot of these listings, I noticed a lot of the cars have JKS Motorsports on them. So I don't know what the association is, if the museum had JKS like prep a lot of the cars, maintain a lot of the cars, or just what the situation is. I don't know what it is, but a lot of these cars, you'll see JKS all over them. So let's dive into a couple of these. Well, I'm not going to go through all of them because there's a lot, as you can see. There's quite a few cars here. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but we're going to go through some of them and check them out. Let's just start at the top. This one's kind of interesting. This very first one, 1996 Chevy Monte Carlo. Says it's a 25th anniversary Winston show car. You can tell it's a Monte Carlo. It looks a little strange just from looking at it, and you can tell how high it's sitting, that it does not have an engine. But they say in here, was originally an experimental 100-inch wheelbase pre-development car for a new NASCAR road course series. Codename for the series was Left-Right Series. Was originally a Pontiac Sunbird SE Coupe. Built by RCR in the early 1980s. So that's kind of interesting. It's a, just kind of an oddball experimental 100-inch wheelbase. So that's 5 inches shorter than the Busch cars were. But on the interior, we can get to those. Jeez, there we go. So, I mean, it would be a neat little car just to have, just kind of for the history, as a pre-development thing. 100-inch wheelbase, it's just an oddball. Something about it I kind of like. I'm not going to buy it, but I love weird stuff, so that's definitely weird. That's a weird one. This one is actually original. So some of these cars are not original, and I'll go into that on a few of the others, but this one appears to be original. This was originally a Dick Trickle car and is unrestored, it looks like. It says presented in as raced condition, last race Talladega 1998. And if you look at the pictures, it's got, let's see. So, I mean, it looks all original inside here. It doesn't look like anything was changed, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, like the window over there, everything looks good in it. See, Hilligmeyers, you got the right switch panel in there. And of course, no engine, unfortunately, but it's a, and these aren't like, I mean, yeah, they were sitting in a museum, but they're not museum pieces. They are not perfect. They've got dents and dings and scratches and cracks. You can see right there. But to have an original car like that, that's cool. That would be a neat one. I wouldn't mind getting that one. Skip these. This one's kind of cool. An old show car, Ricky Craven's show car. Yeah, I mean, it's a good looking car. See, look, JKS Motorsports. Why is that there? I don't get that. And see, like they say, formerly raced with a Roush racing chassis and a Chevrolet body mounted from RCR. But why does it have JKS stuff like that? I don't get it. It looks pretty cool though. I mean, it looks pretty complete. Still got all the fire suppression and ignition and all that stuff. So that one's kind of cool. This one is strange. 1998 Ford Taurus. But if you look, it's actually got headlights. Those are actual lights. It's got a wiper. And then you have taillights. You have the lights for the license plate. So this thing is actually, or was, street legal. So that might be a kind of fun one to pick up. You don't have to do any of the light conversion. I mean, it's got both of them. Look at that. Pretty crazy. I don't think this one has an engine though, if I remember correctly. Click, 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 click. Come on. There's an interior. A Momo steering wheel. Look at that. Yeah, there's your high beams. Left and right turn signals. That's kind of cool. Oh, it does have an engine. Look at that. I was wrong. Got tires with tread. That's good. So that's cool. That might be a fun one to pick up. I'd definitely redo this. I mean, it's kind of neat with the Kluwicki, 7 on there, but it doesn't look right with this this Taurus front end. That looks too goofy. So I'd definitely change that. This appears to be an actual Michael Waltrip car. Of course, no engine. You can see how high that gap is right there. They do say that it is an actual Michael Waltrip car. I always like to look at the dash. That gives a lot of interesting clues. Kind of a generic switch panel there. VDO gauges. You don't see that a whole lot. It's kind of strange. And no engine, of course. So this one is probably going to be the one, well, I was going to say the one that goes for the most, but we'll get to another one that might go for more. They estimate $750,000 to $950,000. I don't know about that. That seems pretty high. Formerly a Dave Marcus number 30. Race prepped 426 Hemi, built by Petty Enterprises. So that's pretty cool. This one would definitely need to be put back to the way it was. Gosh, look at that. That looks so awesome. These wrapped steering wheels from back in the day. That's pretty cool. I like it. I mean, again, that seems pretty high, but that's a pretty sweet car. Now look at the picture of what it used to be. Could you imagine how cool that would be to put it back to that? That would just look so awesome. So whoever buys that, God, I hope they put it back to that. This thing, so this is obviously not a Dale Jr. car. Says it was formerly a Daryl Waltrip Racing number 17, driven by Daryl Waltrip. And then somebody restored it back to this. But look at this. Where is it? That must be up here. Oh, I gotta click on here. Dun dun dun. JKS Motorsports. Right there. There's another one. Might be kind of cool. I don't think that one had an engine. Nope. No engine in that one. So this is a 2003 Chevy Monte Carlo, says previously raced by Kevin Harvick in 2004. All right. This is obviously nationwide. But here it says last raced by Kevin Harvick in Miami in 2004 with number 29 Goodwrench livery. I don't know about that because aren't the nationwide cars 105-inch wheelbase? And the 29 car would have been 110-inch wheelbase? Is that... Anybody want to correct me on that? So again, something that doesn't seem right. And also, I mean, the interior looks all complete. Got your fire suppression, all your plugs over here. But again, look right here. JKS Motorsports switch panel. Why? Why is that there? Kind of drives me crazy. Roush Racing chassis built June of 2002. RK220. Oy, don't know. 1997 Ford Thunderbird. So obviously this one is not correct. It's done up as a Davey Allison car. Davey Allison paint scheme. But it's a 1997 Thunderbird. This is obviously the newer front end. So this is one that's been converted. It's got a 351. Raced by Dick Brooks and Ken Schrader and multiple other drivers. Let's take a look at the interior on this one. Looks pretty cool. You got the older gauges. I like those older ones. VDOs. Nice shift knob. Those are cool. Here you go. Hillig Myers Racing. So is this... It says Ken Schrader, but who knows? Fairly complete though. So this is one that you could put back to whatever it was before. Get rid of the Davey Allison paint scheme and put it back to correct. It wouldn't be too hard. That'd be a pretty cool one to buy. I like it. Pretty cool car. All right, here's the one I have an issue with. 1995 Pontiac Grand Prix, driven by Kyle Petty to victory at the 1995 Miller 500. Now, if we look at the pictures, this is an actual Kyle Petty car. You can tell it's got the, these are race used things. You can tell this is an actual race used car. Click through. I mean, it's got a little bit of wear. It's got chips and things all around it. And the pink has faded a lot. So it needs some work. It would need a restoration. It's got a bunch of dents right here in the door. I'm not sure how all that happened. But, let's see. So the interior looks pretty complete. Got your ignition down there. It does have a Sabco switch panel. That's good. There you go. Sabco number 10. I don't think I'd like to see the tag on the chassis to see if that's actually chassis number 10. But this, and they say on here, okay, let's look at this. Presented in original as raced condition, driven by Kyle Petty to victory at Dover in 1995. That engine is not in as, that's not the right engine, obviously. I don't think so. Yeah, that's not the right engine. So it's not, as raced condition. Now here's the problem that I have. Okay, so they say that that is the winning car from Dover. I have here a letter on Coors Light letterhead. This is a letter to Richard Pugh, who used to buy a ton of race cars back in the early to mid 90s and resell them. He was out of Alabama. And I have a couple other cars that are from him too. The Terry Labonte car that I have paperwork from Terry Labonte to Richard Pugh. So he, reputable guy. Subject, car number 13. My chassis is chassis number 13. And this letter states that that is the chassis that was driven by Kyle to his last victory at Dover. So I have paperwork saying that the chassis I have is the Dover winning car. It's signed by Steve Knight, 1996. Steve was in charge of inventory for Sabco. I've spoken to Steve recently on the phone, confirmed that this letter is real. He remembers typing it. Confirmed that that is what my chassis is. Now I contacted Mecum, told them, hey, I have this, I have that chassis in my garage. Your information isn't right. And I sent them scans of this. And they never got back to me, and they never changed this. So I have an issue with that. Buyer beware. It is an actual Kyle Petty car. It's just not the car. Now, there's video floating around that I've watched where Kyle Petty visits the museum. He's walking through, and he sees that car, and he says, oh, that's the car I got my last victory in. But if you watch it, it doesn't sound like he's saying, that particular car is the one I got my last victory in, because he's just walking by it. All he's seeing is the front when he says that. I think what he's saying is that car, the 95 Pontiac Grand Prix Coors Light car, that's the car that I got my last win in. The body style, the paint scheme. I think that's what he meant. He didn't mean that actual car. So, anyway, that's my issue. Look at a couple more of these. I like this Jimmy Spencer car. This one appears to be untouched. Would be a really neat one to get a hold of. Super Speedway car. Equipped with the last engine built at Junior Johnson's Ingle Hollow shop. So let's take a look at that. That'd be kind of cool. Now let's take a look at the inside too. Looks pretty complete. I like it. Kind of a generic switch panel on there. I love the purple dash. That's cool. Rear end, that's kind of neat. Switch for the rear end cooler. All right, let's go to the engine. Okay, so you're missing a carburetor, obviously. I wonder if that's included with the sale. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention on that Kyle Petty car, he said, the guy that I spoke to at Mecum, he said that they had paperwork saying that it was the last victory. And I asked him if he could send it, and he didn't want to. And why they wouldn't have pictures of that paperwork or say that they have paperwork in that auction is fishy to me. But anyway, back to this. You're missing your shocks. I don't know. Why would it not have shocks? That's strange. You have an engine, but you have no shocks. That's a pretty cool car, though. And these are just kind of display show cars. Does it say what it was? As a photo display car, yeah. Yep, kind of generic. It'd still be fun. Oh, look. Built by JKS Motorsports. There you go. Interesting. Here's the big boy. 1995 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, as race condition, campaigned by Dale Earnhardt from 1995 to 1996. So, I've seen multiple articles that say that this is the real deal. So this is going to be interesting. They have an estimate of 350 to 450. I guess a chassis number of RCR 018. So built and raced and campaigned from 1995 to 1906 by Dale Earnhardt. Became a show car in 97. Driven at Goodwood Festival of Speed in 2018 by Kerry Earnhardt. It's kind of cool. We'll click through a few of these pictures. I mean, this all looks good. I love the way these have such a the look of these. I love the look of these as compared to the NACA Ducks. The NACA Ducks look kind of cool, but the way they did these looked really neat, I thought, back in the day. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Might need a few new decals. It's to be expected, though, with a car of this age. Let's get, yeah. Could definitely use a freshening up, decal-wise. Let's get to the interior. Interior, here we go. Wait a minute. Got a banjo switch plate. I don't know if that's original or not. Of course, you got that iconic poppy red interior. That's neat. You got that piece on the dash. I always loved it on the in-car, you know, when you were watching the race and they showed the in-car cameras and they had these on the dash. I always liked that. I wish that they still did that. There you go, banjo switch plate. Boy, they took some paint off to find that chassis number. You can tell that that has something under it. So this is a sticker over a sticker. You can see the AC logo right there, the Mom and Pop's logo. Interesting. Man, look at how basic that seat looks. Is that the right seat? That looks like an older seat. Like early 80s or something. That does not look right. That's cool. That looks really neat to me. That looks really good. All that. That's cool. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that one goes for. A few of these others. This like a bunch of these are just done up. You know, that's not original. That one's kind of cool. 86 Monte Carlo SS Aero Coupe. Lovely Aero Coupes. I miss mine already. Wish I wouldn't have sold it, but oh well. Driven in the 86 season by Daryl Waltrip. 3 wins. See, do they have paperwork that confirms all this stuff? That's what I wonder. What is that? Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Hand done. That is really cool. The old gauges too. That's neat. What is that big gauge over there? I don't know what that is. It's got a hose clamp around it. I guess kind of holding it in place. Did they show a better picture? Nah, I can't tell. That's cool though. It'll be interesting to see what that one goes for. Now when I looked at this, the very first time that I looked at this, like I guess they had just put it up, it didn't have anything else after this, I don't think. But they've put up a ton of other stuff now. They have helmets, sheet metal. They've got a lot of extra stuff. And some pretty nice pieces. Here's a Harvick Goodwrench hood. Dale Jr. hood. I wonder if this is real. Does it say? Type Road Art. Original. A designation of original means that this piece dates back to its original era of production, but is not indicative of overall condition. What the heck? I'm going to say that's not an actual Dale Earnhardt helmet then. Yeah, I don't think so. Some suits. They've got a lot of cool stuff. So this should be a really interesting auction. A few more hoods. I like that older Reese's hood. That is cool. A couple of Dale Jr. hoods. I love that Jimmy Johnson hood. That was always one of my favorite paint schemes of his. All right, so what do you guys think? A lot of cool cars in that auction. It's going to be interesting to see what some of them go for. Why don't we play the Price is Right game? Let's play it on the... How about the Dale Earnhardt car? That should be an interesting one. According to their estimates, it might not be the most expensive one, but let's play it on that one. I'll say, I don't know, because it's not like as race condition, it had been converted to show car. If it was as raced, I think it would pull more, but I'll guess, I'm gonna guess 245. I'm not gonna go as high as their estimate, I don't think. I'll say 245, and even that might be high. I don't know, we'll see, but Price is Right rules, closest to the ending sales price without going over, you win. So comment down below what you think the Dale Earnhardt car is gonna sell for, and we will see what it does. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you think about some of those cars, any of your thoughts, what all the JKS stuff is, if you know what the connection is between the museum and them, let me know. So anyway, take care guys, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.